Hey guys, this is Chris Johnson with Upscale Method. I just want to go over sales. A lot of you have been speaking with a lot of agencies and you're struggling with sales. So I want to dive a little bit deeper into sales and what might be causing the issues. So let's jump right in. All right, so inside here, there's a lot of different cycles that are going to feed back into each other that are going to cause issues. So first of all, I like to focus on client happiness because that does drive a lot of issues. So if you have unhappy clients, that's going to lead to no positive reviews, no referrals, and your sales team can get discouraged, and that can lead to less motivation for your sales team, leading to an ineffective sales team, which means the sales are going to be slow. So that's one of the cycles that's really important. So keeping clients happy is going to be really important. Now the other thing that's kind of interesting is if the project is not profitable, then the sales are not profitable. And of course, if the sales are not profitable, that's also going to affect sales because you're going to start cutting back on sales costs and you're not going to be able to scale. Now, to make sure that your sales are profitable, let's look at this real quick. What do I mean by sales are not profitable? So if you're spending $6,000 to acquire a $5,000 website, of course that's not profitable. However, if you're spending $4,000 to acquire a $5,000 website sale, your sales are probably not profitable, of course. You know, there's so much costs involved everywhere, from marketing, sales, administration, everywhere in the company. You can't afford to spend $4,000 for a $5,000 sale. So what I do recommend is to focus on reserving about 10 to 20% of your website sales or marketing campaigns for sales. So you do want to have about a 10 to 20% budget for your marketing and sales expenses. And then that's going to feed back into, of course, more projects for your team, which are going to lead to more happy clients, which lead to positive reviews, more referrals, and team happiness. So I'm just going, I'm doing the reverse of what's on the chart here, because you can reverse everything by having happy clients and a profitable sales cycle. So that's one really, really big part. Now, organizing your sales team is going to be really big too. If you're a smaller agency, you may be the salesperson. If you own the agency and you only have you and maybe one or two developers, you are probably going to be the salesperson. So that means you've got to become a more effective salesperson. And if you don't know how to sell, then I do not recommend hiring salespeople, because if you try to hire salespeople, who's going to apply for your job, right? You're basically going to be getting people that are most likely desperate for a job. And why would they be desperate for a job? Because they suck at sales. If they were amazing at sales, then they would not be desperate for a job. So it's kind of a weird situation where, as the business owner, you really do need to take responsibility for your sales and then hire and train your own sales team, or have somebody like me as a coach to go in and start training the sales team, somebody that knows the industry inside and out, so that you can actually get ahead on your sales. So you do need to get good at sales, absolutely. Otherwise, you're going to be running around blind all the time and not wondering what's going on. So let's take a look at this from another perspective. If you do get good at sales and you're able to train your sales team, all it takes is 1, 2, or 3 salespeople, and you can reach $1 million in sales. So if you can be really effective at sales, it does not require a huge sales team to get your numbers up there. Another thing that's going to affect your sales, of course, is right here. This is where a lot of people get stuck, is if there's no demand and if there's no good lead generation and you don't have effective sales scripts, all of this is going to be pretty much fundamental, right? If nobody wants your product, if nobody wants your websites, if nobody wants what it is that you do, then you're going to have an ineffective sales team, even if you train them quite well. I mean, you really need to have the fundamentals right. You need to have a proper strategy, and that comes down here from marketing. You need to have clear targeting. You need to have a unique solution for your market and all this kind of stuff. And that all comes back down, all the way down to, again, to your niche. So if you don't have a good niche, then you're not going to really know what you're doing on your marketing. which means you don't know what you're selling and you're not going to really have a good strategy. Once you do have a good niche, however, things become much clearer, and you can train your sales reps, you can have the proper network and sales tools and everything, and you can start to really scale up on your sales. Now, having said that, sales is only sort of half of the story. It's super important, but if you don't have proper management and your clients aren't happy, then the whole thing is going to fall apart. You're not going to be profitable, you're going to have lots of negative reviews, and you're going to hate running your agency. So really it comes down to managing both sides, both your sales and your marketing, both your sales and your management. And outside of all of this, if we zoom way out, over here there's a little bit of mindset stuff, but mindset is going to be governing all of this. Like, if you don't have your own life together, if you're not organized, then none of this is really going to matter, right? So those are the three main areas that you need to focus on if you're going to really scale up your agency. Over here, you're going to have sales and marketing. You're going to have all your management, and feeding into management, there's going to be, your hiring and your hiring and training processes to get your team up to, up to the right level. But if you don't have your own life together, then all of this won't matter. For example, if you're sleeping in and you're procrastinating and you're not motivated and you have a million excuses, that's a big area of concern. So these are all areas I train on and I coach on. I help people get out of their slumps, get up to the next level, and reach their full capability, whether that's a $500,000 per year agency, $1 million per year agency, or more. That's what I help you realize, help you achieve your full capability. So anyway, too much about me, but yeah, I really want to help you get to where you want to be. So if you are struggling with sales, maybe take a look at some of those issues that we pointed out. What could be causing your sales slump? It could be that your customers are not happy and you're not going to have very many, very much social proof, and you're not going to have very many referrals and things like that. However, if you're just starting out, then that's not going to be your concern. Or if you don't have enough social proof, that's okay. There's all sorts of ways and strategies around all of this to really start getting your agency off the ground. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and I'll be happy to help. Thanks so much, and until next time, have a good one. See you on the next video.